What is good, you people? This is going on to the King Lionel Twitch Vod Channel. For those that are going to watch this later, for those that are here, welcome. We are playing Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, the emo experience. I'm here with casual hardcore gamer themselves, RJ. Say something to the people, RJ.
RJ from Casual Hardcore Gamers. That's how you would present it, King. Come on, man.
It's Casual Hardcore Gamers' very own RJ. Is that better?
There you go. That works.
Okay.
I can live with that.
Okay,
I'm
trying to give you like an intro, and you just want to correct me. Like, come on, man. I set you up. I gave you the alley-oop, and you was like, no, you didn't do it right. Just.
Almost like you gave me alley-oop, but not at the height that I needed you to. Like, so.
You supposed to
there you go.
You supposed to like. Fix it, okay? Fix it, and then we just keep playing. But,
mid-air?
Yes,
fuck that.
Mid-air. Alley-oop that, like, whatever that movement is.
Alley-oop it if the ball's at, like, my kneecaps, bro. I can't alley-oop it at that point.
You gotta figure it out. That's what I'm hearing.
No, you gotta figure out how to... What, you couldn't believe me that shit. You threw it bad.
You gotta figure it out. That's all I gotta say. So, we are going to be doing the Riku story, or finishing the Riku story. This will be
Where are you, by the way?
I'm at Atlantis now, so I'm fighting.
Oh, yeah, you're Atlantica.
Yeah.
Oh man, have fun with. Well, she's not as bad with Riku. She still sucks, but she ain't as bad.
Watch. I finish her off because I am. Say it with me now. A master at work.
Piece of shit.
You didn't say it. Why didn't you say it? Why? Why didn't you say it?
I said it. That's what you are.
No.
I said it. Isn't that what you were gonna say?
No,
I said what you were gonna say.
No, I am a master at work. You are now watching a master at work.
Piece of shit. Yeah, absolutely. That's what you said. I'm just saying what you're saying, bro.
I don't see why you have to be hating. I really don't. All right, so let's do this. Probably should wear my other headphones and my white headphones, but I really don't feel like doing that just so I can hear. Let's do. Damn, I missed the first hit. All right. All zeros. That is not good. Okay,
yeah, bro, your deck. Wait, are you just starting Atlantica, or did you?
Yes, I just started it. Like,
oh gosh, dude, yeah, your deck is garbage in this world.
Yeah, I literally was like, you know what? I got far enough. I'm done playing for the night, and stop playing.
Have you done Wonderland yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Which that one people will see later after I do the son of a bitch. Okay. Zero, that, and there we go. Nope, there we go. Yeah, I meant to do that, and I leveled up too because I was that good.
Riku's deck is, oh man, Riku's deck is so bad.
What do you mean? It's better than Sora's deck. I mean, probably your Sora's deck, not mine. You know, you say good out there. You know, my deck had everything it needed, and then some. Yes, it did.
Did it?
It did. Why are you saying it like this? Why?
I mean, did it though?
It did. You saw the game, and you saw what I was putting down.
Yeah, I mean, not much, but okay.
What do you mean? Like I was laying down the smackdown on.
You were not. You were not. I mean, you might have beat him, but you didn't lay it. You didn't lay down no smackdown.
I did lay down the smackdown. Like he wasn't ready for this. You might as well just call me the great one. That's how badly I was giving it to him.
No, you weren't. No, not even close.
But I was like, why are you doing this? Like again, where is my white mage at?
Well,
okay, I
want to do all this shit. Like, okay, the white mage would be there for you if you stopped disappointing him. Like. I watched your battles, bro, in your live stream shares and shit, bro. Like I watched. I was like, why? I was like, why are you taking so long to? Like, now I know why it took you 4 hours in that last stream to beat the game. I'm like, bro, how can you take this long to be done with shit, bro? Like,
because I had to go through all the amount of cards I had. I had so many cards.
Yeah, like you didn't. Why you have to go through so? You were like recycling your deck. Like in regular battles, and I'm like, how are you at this point?
Because I had too many. I had ethers, just in case.
Like,
I had.
How did you have? Like, oh yeah, you had so many ethers.
You never know when you need ethers. You never know.
I never used the ether once in that game. Never, not once.
I needed ethers in case I ran out of cards, because I will not have PTSD of running out of cards like I did, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do this. I refuse.
But if you manage your deck right, you won't run out of cards.
There we go. Or if I have ethers, I won't have to even worry about that. I'm a bitch.
But then it also makes the battles go by faster if you manage your deck right too. And you won't have to use these fucking stupid ass lights like you were, like magnet spiral. Like what the fuck?
First off, magnet spiral brought people in close. It brought them in close.
Shit. Yeah, but it did like no damage. It does no damage.
What do you mean?
I saw it. It did like 0 damage. It did like bullshit damage. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Wasting your life with this?
I was taking out all of the embers and the not the embers, the elements. There we go. I was taking out the elements, and you know,
it barely did enough damage to take them out.
What are you talking about? I did all the damage you needed to take them out.
No, it didn't. They were not dead after you were done with them.
It did. They were at least halfway. What are you talking about? They were not dead.
Okay, if they're half their health, that's not dead. That's only half their health gone. It's not dead.
They might as well have been dead. You know.
That's not how that works.
I think that is how that works. There we go.
That's not how That's not how life works or numbers work.
I feel like we're splitting hairs again.
We're not. I'm just telling you logic. And you just refuse to hear it.
I don't think you are. I feel like again we're splitting hairs. Heal me, Mickey. Thank you. Thank God. I almost died there for a second. I mean.
Oh yeah. And all the times you need to get healed. When you, oh my gosh, you were like almost dead health, like most of the time.
There is no defense at this game.
And your health, no, I'm talking when you were with Sora. And then you were like, and your health bar was so big, you had so much health.
There is no defense in this game, so I'm basically...
You were still almost dying. Like, how the fuck does that even happen, dog?
Because I have no defense, and so I am a glass cannon. What part of that is my playstyle do you not understand?
You were not a glass cannon, though. That's the problem. Where was the cannon?
You
were made out of glass, yes.
You
were made out of glass, but where was the cannon?
Did you not see the amount of Trinity limits I was hitting? I was dancing all up and down that stage. Like, I was like, ting, ting.
In one stream you did it, like, you were doing it a lot, but then, like, the other streams that you shared, I never saw it. So I was like, what the fuck? Where's your Trinity limit that you just care so much about?
What do you mean? I was doing it in every single match I had. At every chance I could get Trinity limit, I was hitting Trinity limit.
All I saw was Magna Spiral and that Tuscan thing where you just throw the blade. Yeah, that one. I saw you do that to fucking Marluxia, and I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, that one was a misclick. Like if I did the Zendata thing, it was definitely a misclick. I did not mean to do that at all.
Well, it's just how the cards were lined up when you used your attacks. I mean, that's just how it lined up.
I know,
so
it was a misclick.
You probably weren't paying attention. You probably weren't paying attention.
I wasn't.
Yeah, because you you spent no time building your deck ever, which I'm just like, it's a card game. How are you not building your deck?
I literally spent a whole video to set up my ice deck. Did you not see that?
And how the fuck did it suck so bad?
What do you mean? Did you not see me put in work? I beat Axel.
Garbage.
I beat Axel.
Garbage.
It's not.
Bro, my deck would have wrecked your deck.
It was not. I have no weak, pathetic cards, Kaiba. I have.
Oh, they were the worst.
They were not. You know, it sounds like just a hating. It just sounds like hating ass. It shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be a hating ass nigga. You know, be better, okay? Don't be a hater all your life. Oh shit. Nope, 0. Beat that. Okay, he beat that.
No, you gotta use that. You gotta use that Mickey Slight inverse burst. You gotta use that shit, bro.
I mean, I definitely would.
You need I think 2 Mickey cards and an attack card, or maybe you just need 1 Mickey card. I don't remember. But
yeah, you just need 1. But like, I'm saving Mickey because of the fact that
But you also need to be in dark mode as well.
Yeah. But I was saving it because I use Mickey to heal me, because otherwise I have no healing.
No, you don't need to be healed so much. Why do you need to be healed all the time?
Because I am a glass cannon.
Why do you suck so bad?
What do you mean
at this game?
This game is ass.
Why? I know it is, but it doesn't mean you have to suck at it.
Again, this game is ass, and all I'm doing is playing it as a glass cannon. I am fighting everything.
Games are ass, but you can still be good at them.
What are you talking about? I am good at this game.
Oh my gosh.
Do I have to remind you of who beat Marilucia's second form and third form one time? Because you know that was me. That was all me. That was all planning.
Over leveled, because you over leveled yourself up to hell.
What I'm hearing is excuses because I am just that nigga. Like that's all I'm hearing, and like you shouldn't be like that. You should be better. You should be the white mage that I need, and not just a hating ass nigga. Like you shouldn't be like that. You know? Damn.
I don't even know when I became the white mage in the first place.
Cause I was your white mage when you were playing.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
If you play it back,
I never asked you to be. I never asked you to be. Not one time.
You did not have to. That's the point of a white mage. I had your back.
I didn't want it.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You weren't even there half the time. What the fuck are you talking about?
I was, but when I was there when I needed to be, I was there when it counted. I was like, "Don't worry, you got this." He's like, "I don't think I got this." Like, no, you got this, cause I believe in you, so you got this. Yep.
The fact that you have to go after every sentence tells me that just speaks to how bullshit you are.
You could literally watch back at the vid. I was like, "You got this." Now you probably couldn't hear it that you didn't believe me, but you know that's not my fault. That's the audio. But the main point is I had your back, and you just weren't there to have my back. Where was my back to be had? That's all I asked. Where was my white mage? Heal me, too. There we go, full health.
There's your white mage, Mickey.
See, and you know, it's crazy that Mickey's more so a white mage than the person that's actually here supposed to be helping, boosting me up.
You should know better than that to have me be that person. I'm not gonna be that person.
That is terrible. That is, you know, you're supposed to be the white mage. You're supposed to have my back when I feel like the chips are down. You're supposed to be like, you know what, King, you got this. And I'm like, you know what, thank you, RJ, I do got this. Not you as ass.
Don't invite me on my behalf to do something that you need me to do for you, unbeknownst to me. What kind of bullshit is that?
It's a good white mage, okay? You're supposed to be there in my darkest times to boost me up. Like the anime pro tag that I am, I need at my lowest, I need you to be like, don't worry, you have this. And I'm like, you know what? I do have this.
Oh man, I checked out when you said anime pro tag.
Wow.
We're not bringing anime into real life.
Wow. Why not? You can have anime in real life. Again.
No.
I am the main protagonist. What do you mean no?
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
Why are you saying no?
No.
Why are you saying no?
No.
Why?
We already have too many of these fucking little black kids running around like they're knowledge dogs. Giving us a fucking bad name. All right, we don't need any more of that shit.
You know, those are not. That's not neither here nor there. That's not my fault. But what I'm trying to say is that when I need someone to help me be the main protagonist that I know I am, where were you at? When the Fire Nation was taking over, where were you? Huh?
In the real world. That's where I was at.
You should be here protecting and giving me hype. I need hype energy right now, and you're giving me the opposite of that.
I am. And for you not to know that that was going to happen is actually a slight on your part, because you should know better.
You should be like, you know what? He actually could use this assistance to let me help him out. And I would have been like, you know what? Thank you, RJ. I appreciate you. You're boosting me up. I can do this.
You could do it with or without me. It doesn't matter.
I mean, yes, but like it helps better to like have someone to be like, you know what? You got this.
But it helps me better to tell you that you can't.
What do you get from that though? Besides being a hating ass nigga. Damn, I missed it. I missed the other thing.
Moments like that to hear you get pissed. You miss something. That's what I get out of it.
This game is ass. So you gain from me saying that this game is ass. That's you know, we should be better than that. That's a crab in the bucket mentality. You shouldn't be like that.
Oh man, that game is so ass though.
Oh, it is. It's incredibly ass.
It's not even close to good.
That's why. But I'm powered through in this, and so that way, once I beat this, I don't never have to come back to this again.
Like honestly, probably would have been. I probably would have been happier if I was able to just fucking play the original GBA version over the version that they wanted, like when they redid it. Honestly, I honestly probably would have been a lot happier just playing that.
Well, I mean, you can probably do it in an emulator. You wouldn't get the trophies on your PlayStation, but you could at least get the emulator somewhere.
Well, I mean, like as in the sense that like they never remade it and they just kept it the GBA version, and then when they ported it, you know, with the 1.5 collection, they just kept that version, and they didn't include the PS2 version.
Yeah, they figured that.
And I saw footage of the GBA version. It's not even a game I would honestly like want to play, but I probably would have had a better time with that than I would have, or than what I had with the fucking PS2 version.
You didn't like the side-scrolling actions of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories?
Don't keep in mind, I never played it. I just seen it. But
that's what I'm saying. Like you didn't like what it looked like.
It's just not my style of shit. Maybe I would have at the time, in like 2003 or whatever. This shit made. Because as of right now, it's not like the shit I'm really into. But yeah, I feel like maybe then, because I did like the GB. I had one, and I really only played Pokemon, but I did play Super Mario World 3, Super Mario Brothers 3. But I also played Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, and the way that the Chain of Memories is presented kind of reminded me of that for some reason. Like it's like battle system kind of reminds me of that game. So I don't know. I might have. I was
about to say, yeah, if you like Pokemon, then I don't see why you wouldn't like playing it at least like that.
Yeah. I mean, I may have at some point, but now, not really. It's not my, like, I'm not a huge fan of 2D games much at all, or like pixelated games. I know that's like all the rage now, but it's not what I'm really into, like, at all anymore. But the time, yeah. And like, I still, if it was included in the thing, like an 1.5 remix, I would have played it. Especially knowing that, like, you know, its story's integral to the overall plot. I probably would have played it still, just to, I guess, get that bit of story that's in it, but...
I've beaten it and I'll have to go back to it.
I'm gonna have to go back to it, because I'm gonna play the PS4 version eventually.
So you're gonna play it another time all over again and do everything on it?
Yep.
Well, at least you all you have to do is play it on Pro mode. You don't have to worry about having to do like everything all over again. Yeah,
honestly, I probably will just go straight to Proud with the Chain of Memories, but with the first game, Final Mix, I probably will play that again twice. Because that game is fun enough to where I'll do it again.
Chain of Memories?
No, the first one.
Oh, okay, yeah. That one's fun. I still have to go back and do that one. To do like the secret bosses, and that's about it. And I guess.
Oh, you didn't do the secret bosses?
I think I did all, and I didn't do any of them. Now that I think about it, no, I didn't do any of them. I stopped playing it after.
Do a single one.
Nope. I did. Damn. I leveled up like to a certain level in the castle, and son of a bitch, did you just break me out of my Okay. I need another card. I need another Mickey card.
So mad.
There we go. Darkness. There we go. Now I can be Edgelord Supreme.
Did you say blackness?
I said darkness. Same thing.
Oh, I think you said blackness. You said blackness.
It's the same thing. It truly is the same thing.
Damn, we're really going there?
I mean, it is. It's the same thing. Blackness and darkness.
We going there?
I mean, we can have hot takes in this stream, like at least
Bro,
in my stream.
We going there?
Yes. Now I will warn you that again, people will see this after the fact, but we can. Damn, I died. That's crazy.
Huh? Piece of shit.
Well,
everything I talked about is unwarranted. You ain't shit.
Again, I only died because Riku has no heals. He is a fucking glass tank.
Now all of a sudden you're fucking making excuses? Stop making excuses.
He is a glass tank. Where is the heal at? Who is my white mage? Because my only other white mage is not helpful right now. He's literally only here to see my downfall.
Whoa, that don't. Are you on proud mode or are you on regular?
I'm on proud mode.
Oh, I don't think you're on proud mode.
Do I have to? Okay, watch. You will see that I'm on proud mode once I finish this.
How will I know?
Well, one is going to be put on the channel, and two, if I need to, I'll just take a picture of it so you can see it later.
That's what we need. Need you to prove it.
You will see that, like, once I show the other video, you will see that I beat it on proud mode, and you will see my master skills at work. Damn, I probably should have okay, there we go. Okay, woo! Just as I planned, I meant to do that. Woo! And I got my revenge too. Yeah, bitch. Alright, as I was saying, yeah, we can have hot takes over here. And not have to worry about anything at least you getting canceled unless you say anything too hot, and then, you know, once it's being uploaded onto the channel, you know, that's your own fault. You know, if anything you say that's too spicy, I can try and edit anything too spicy out, but for content I might leave it in just because it's funny.
I do like how you're calling it too spicy. I like that.
Yeah, you know, it's a hot take, so, you know, anything.
Hey, you don't. Hey, you got it. It's okay if don't make it too spicy.
Yeah, you know, just don't make it too spicy, you know.
Are you playing this on Steam or PlayStation? What are you playing this on?
I'm playing it on PlayStation.
Okay. Yo, did you hear how bad the Nintendo Switch cloud versions are doing, or did?
Oh god, I did not, but I can only assume. 0, 6.
I mean, it didn't matter to me because I don't have a Switch, but apparently this is all fucking garbage.
Which the Switch, they just need a new Switch. They really do just need like a Switch Pro.
No. What they needed to do initially was just make it native, make it like cartridge, like make it an actual fucking physical game, or just a native digital copy.
Oh,
but you had to play it like, I think you had to stream it or something like that because it was a cloud version.
Also, it's kind of like PlayStation Now is.
Kinda, yeah. Like from what I understand, I think it was just like a cloud version of the titles, digital cloud versions. And it's like, Nintendo, have you not paid attention to PlayStation Now for the past like 8 years, and seen how inconsistent it is?
That shit is terrible. At least now
like,
we got a new system. We got a new reward system. Which, are you getting the PlayStation Experience or whatever the fuck they're calling it now?
I don't know if I should talk so much about this because I just got done recording. Well, not just got done, but earlier today, right after I got off work, I recorded my podcast with David. That's going to go out. I don't know when you're going to put this out, but today's the April Fool, and I'm going to put it out this following Sunday on the 3rd. Oh, and yeah, it's basically all about it. All about our thoughts on it.
You're fine. This won't go out for at least next week, if not like the following week. So you're good. Okay,
well, yeah, I mean, it's, we went back and forth because David's more of an Xbox guy, and I am more of a PlayStation guy, but, you know, so we had different takes on it and everything, but, we're kind of, I mean, it's such a, I wish it wasn't this fucking complicated. I don't know why Sony had to make this. They could have just made it so simple, and no one had to talk about it, and have all these different thoughts and takes, but now they did. Like, their approach is like made this such a complicated conversation to have because there's so many facets to it now. Because at first everyone was like, okay, yeah, this is nowhere near as good as Game Pass. But then people were like, well, it's not. It seems to be like they're not trying to compete with Game Pass. But then at some point it's like, well, they're going to have something, maybe not in competition to Game Pass, but just something better than what they have now if they're looking for longevity with this thing. I mean, it's more further discussed from David and I in the podcast, but like the thing is like the kind of things that we kind of agree that we hope get announced either now between now and June, we're supposed to launch, or afterwards, is that it needs to have I know they've already confirmed that there will be no day one first party titles for now, but they need to have day one at least third party titles. from like the major publishers and shit, because it's just not going to bring enough people in, honestly, and it's just going to piss people. It's going to piss PlayStation owners off, when especially if they have a lot of Xbox friends who are getting the exact same game that they both, that he or she wants and their friend wants, but the friend gets it because it's a day one on Game Pass. But like for Sony, like it's like, fuck, I actually have to go and buy the game, even though I've already bought this subscription thing. So like it's just gonna piss people off, because for now we understand why the first party stuff isn't on there yet. David and I agree too. They should eventually start putting it on there, but for now we understand why, because they don't need to. But the third party stuff, that's just almost too much to not have. Like, so they gotta. So we agree that they need to have that put in. With the on that extra tier, well, I guess, and also with the premium, but those like 400 PS4 and PS5 games, those games cannot just be a static list that never changes. It needs to be rotated in, like on a regular basis, like how the Game Pass has like games that go in and out of it every month. It needs to be the same thing, because even if that list of games that whenever it gets announced or shown, it's like, even if it's a really, really good list of games, that value, that understand that appeal will only last so long, because if it's just a static list, it can only last so long. But if it's being rotated and cycled through every so often, like once a month, maybe every other month, I don't know, that'll make it more appealing, because then it's like, okay, maybe at the moment there's not something I want, or maybe I have played everything I want, but I know that with time more games will be brought in that I will want to play or try out. So that needs to be included, and then there needs to be a good mix of games as well, but there needs to be an emphasis on the bigger titles, even if they are a little bit like a few years old. It can't be like half of it of like a bunch of fucking indie titles or like digital only titles that are like $5 on the PlayStation Store. They can't do that. I mean, there should be some, but it can't be that. It needs to be like majority of the games need to be bigger titles, or like AA titles, like Biomutant or like Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, like those like titles that do have production value, but they're not as big, like Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or something like that. But on the legacy side, with those old school games, the PS2, PS1, and PSP, those games should not be cycled out. There's just that, whatever, how many out of that 340 that are going to be allocated for that just needs to be a growing list. So whatever it ends up being at the moment, fine, but that list needs to be growing. It can, like, whatever games they start off, because the same thing's going to happen. Like, even if they include fucking top tier PS2, PS1, and PSP games, which obviously, like, you got Dino Crisis, Parasite Eve, Resident Evil OG, Silent Hill OG, Crash, Spyro, Gex, just those classics of the PS2, Ratchet & Clank, Final Fantasy X or X-2 or whatever, Sly Cooper, and a bunch of other deep cuts and stuff too, right? And the PSP, Daxter, Ratchet & Clank Size Matters, Final Fantasy VII, what's Crisis Core, I think it's called. Even if you include the upper, like the echelon of those games, again, that allure only lasts so long if it's a static list. And not all those games you're even going to want to play anyway, so, it's going to run its course really fast. So they need to just be adding on to it as time goes on. I don't know how many games, but they need to add on to that list. So we kind of identify like those kind of the three things that we really want, 3 or 4 things that we really want to hope see get announced or shown, either between now and June or afterwards. However, for now, for me, as far as if I'm buying it, I need to wait to see what games are like out of those like 400 PS4, PS5 games and the 340 PS3, 2, whatever, all those out of those games that they're saying, because that's almost 750 games in all. That's a shitload of games.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to be like, whenever they show those games, announce them or whatever, list them out, I'm going to go through that entire list for both and see what are you guys including here to start off with, because I'm either not going to do it at all and stick with my regular PlayStation Plus, or I will go straight to premium and I'm going to do the yearly subscription for premium.
That's almost $200 though.
It's 120. How are you skipping $80?
Wait a minute. I thought the premium, the last one was like almost $200.
No, it goes 60 and then 100 for extra, and then I think it's 120 for premium.
Okay, never mind that. Yeah, I thought that was like 200. I was about to ask you,
because
like,
it's cheaper than Game Pass.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So in Game Pass, I think is 150.
Getting beat up by fishmen. Here we go, Dark. Son of a bitch, let me transform!
Oh, stop.
I'm just trying to transform. Let me live my life. There we go.
Why you gotta
That is not, the game just cheats. It cheats so much. Okay.
Why you gotta be so garbage?
2 fucking 0 Mickey cards does me no good at this moment. And you break the card again. Okay, you know what?
Well, yeah, because zero doesn't work if you're playing it second. I'm sorry, if you're playing it first.
I'm aware of that.
It tells you that. So stop doing it then.
I needed the heals. I only use him for healing.
And wait till they attack you, then you can break the card and heal at the same time.
I did, but there's like 3 people here. There's like 3 niggas. It's not just one.
Whatever,
it's like 3 of them. But
Whatever.
anyway, so like.
Anyway, it's 120. It's 120. I just went back and confirmed it.
It is 120. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, if it's like, I know if we're talking long game, like several years down the line, if those lists again are static lists and they never get changed, like in like meaningful ways, then yeah, I might not keep it and I might downgrade. But if there's a lot of value in those lists, I'll give it a year, because that'll be worth a year worth of games. Like the PS4, PS5 stuff alone will probably be worth it if there's enough stuff that I could download. Because like all those PS4, PS5 games are all downloadable, which is great. So like just that alone could possibly be worth it. But then knowing that like whatever those PS2, PS1, PSP games that are also all downloadable too, that's just like a cherry on top. So I'm just waiting to see the list.
My only thing is, well, besides the price of it, is that some of those games that now that if they are brought over, like the Jack 1, I don't know if you noticed it, but like since it's a report, it's not like a remaster to it. It looks totally different than like a PlayStation 3 version of Jack 1, or like a like I saw someone play it on stream once, and they had both the PlayStation 3 and the PS4 version of it, and you could drastically see the difference. Like the coloring looks off, the shapes and the models don't look the same. So that's my only worry, is that they'll probably just try and cut corners for this for us.
Wait, hold on a second. So you're saying, so you use Jack and Daxter as an example?
Yeah.
So you're talking about so when they re-released the Jack series on PS4?
Yeah.
So you're saying it doesn't look as good as the PS3 remaster?
Yeah, like when he showed it to us, like because he was doing it for like I think Jack month, and he collects all of the Jack memorabilia, and so he was playing both games, and like he was showing like the difference, and the shading for the game looks different. Jack's his model, he looks lengthier in the PlayStation 4 version than he did in the PlayStation 3 version. And so that was my only thing, though. And then another thing I've noticed, at least for the PS5, some games don't get transferred well. Like I don't know if you ever played this, but like the Batman Telltale games, one person was playing it on stream, and the smoke just looked like boxes. It didn't look like actual smoke. It just looked like it's not ported well. That's the only thing I noticed about when they do straight to port games and not like go through the effort of either remastering it or making it a good port.
Well, I don't know anything about the technology, because I know that game never got a proper PS5 release. So you're talking about like if you just bought the PS4 digital copy or something, or you had the disc and you put it in the system. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I don't know if anything gets lost in translation in between, playing an older title, playing a PS4 title, like on the PS5. I would have imagined it would have looked the same, because not many games have gotten an actual PS5 native, re-release or whatever, like a native version for it. or like an upgrade or whatever, like some games have.
Mm-hmm.
But for you to say that this apparently the smoke doesn't look, I'm just wondering like what version did he like? I don't know. Like I've never heard of that. I'm kind of surprised that would have happened at all. I would have expected like there to be just nothing. Like I wouldn't expect it to look any better, but I definitely wouldn't expect it to be worse in any way because it should just be the same game, you know.
And that's what I thought too.
That's what I would expect.
Yeah, I thought that too. And like I said, I think it could have just been the fact because they just played it on the like a digital download. Because hell, even when I play Days Gone, that first episode, that first stream I did, the oil that was leaking out came out in like rectangles. Like it didn't come out as like actual oil. It came down as rectangles on my screen, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And so it may just been the fact that they just played a digital copy version of it instead of like the actual hardcore copy of it. But yeah, that was my only main that was my main concern. That and the price was my hesitance of getting the premium version of it.
Well, if that's the case, then you would have had that problem regardless of the subscription.
Yeah, but I would have paid more.
I mean, you would have, but like it seems like, yeah, that seems that would just exacerbate the problem that was already present because with the PS4 games on the PS5 in the first place, just on an even bigger scale. Because like if a lot of those games, a lot of the PS4 games, end up not playing well in various ways, then yeah, people are going to be like, yo, what the fuck? They're going to blame it. They're going to think that because they paid for this should be happening, when in reality that was already a problem. And now we're just seeing the problem, like in a grander scale. And also, speaking of problems, my game just crashed on me. That's cool.
Why did your game crash?
I don't know. I'm playing some digital title of my own that I bought a little while ago, and it crashed on me. I was just in the inventory. That's all I was doing. Just fucking around with the inventory. But this game I'm playing is kind of asking me, so I'm not surprised.
What are you playing?
It's some old title called Arcania: The Complete Tale.
Like on PlayStation?
Yeah, PS4.
Have you already downloaded your free games for the Plus yet?
I downloaded. I actually a lot of times I forget, but I did make sure I went and downloaded the Sonic Team Racing though. But I need to turn on my PS5 so I can download Ghost Runner before it's too late. I actually did want to get that. Yeah, it's just I'm constantly having to go behind my Nintendo Center and plug in cords in and out because I have a PS3, 4, and a 5, and I can stream. I usually not stream, but stream, but I stream and record off of all of them at any given time. But like only one cable can work for that, so I'm constantly having to fucking like change my cables. And I just don't really feel like getting up and changing the cable for the PS5 right now. But yeah, I missed out on games because I just totally forgot. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, it sucks. But, oh well. Yeah, so it's just waiting to see what those games are gonna be. Oh yeah, but the native support. Yeah, I still would just that really surprises me, man. Like to hear that some of these PS4 games are not doing, some of them are just having these weird graphical issues or whatever, or like the PS3 versions are worse. And I don't know, maybe I never really looked into like on those PS4 versions of Jack. I never knew if they took the version from the PS3 or they took like the PS2 version or something. Like I don't know. And I don't really care because that kind of shit to me doesn't bug me. And honestly, let's be real. Like you generally don't notice this type of shit unless you're doing comparisons.
And yeah,
like,
I will say that I didn't notice it till you pointed it out.
So if you had never seen that comparison and just played Jack 4, or sorry, well, we wish Jack 4, but if you had just played Jack on your PS4 or PS5, whatever, you probably would have been fine. Right? As long as it looks vaguely like you remember it, you're fine. It's not until you see a comparison where you're like, oh wow, this really doesn't look that great. But then like again, you're gonna be like, oh well, seems fine to me. So I mean, Yeah, and I don't really care about comparison videos all that much, anyways. So yeah, it's just so that is, but stuff like what you said with Days Gone though, when it's just coming out like in squares rather than like as like a more malleable fluid. That's noticeable, and that is something that's a different conversation to have. That should be happening, regardless if it's a digital, physical. It doesn't matter how you're playing. That should never be happening. So yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Quite honestly, but yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope the service does well. I really want it to. I really do. And I was telling David, I hope that Sony's isn't getting fucking like arrogant with their position in the market right now. Like how Microsoft once upon a time. Because, like, again, like, going back to their first-party games not being day one, like, again, we both get it. We get why Sony thinks that they don't have to do that right now. Because the fan base just don't, like, you know, you gotta think about the fan base as of right now. It's like, at the moment, it's like, they're gonna buy God of War, regardless, right? They're gonna buy GT7, Horizon. You know, they're gonna buy their first party games regardless, but it's not until the service comes out and then they start seeing they start realizing like how much of a missed opportunity they're being served compared to what the Xbox counterparts are getting. Especially once Xbox starts fleshing out their first party titles in a few years, with all the studios that they've bought, or that they bought. I think that's when they're gonna realize like, oh shit, yeah, we actually need to do something here, boys. Actually give the people what they want. And I just hope at that point it's not too late. We both want them to do well. We just think that they might be just living a little too much in their hubris, with how they're approaching this at the moment.
Okay, I see that. Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, then, well, I guess not don't mind me asking, but okay, how do you feel about the fact that like some people claim that Sony games are like now movies? Like
they've been doing that. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know that, but I'm saying like, do you feel like that can also be like something that they would need to change, where like eventually people are going to be tired of having to, not tired, but like are tired of having one play a little bit of game and then put their controller down and just watch a mountain of cutscenes. Because even you yourself has said like, if you just watch a straight cutscenes, you will get bored.
Well, that's different though than. And, okay, first of all, let me preface with the fact that I said that about Kingdom Hearts 358.5 days. That's what he's referencing to, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
And now about that, I still stand by what I said about in that particular instance, because that's all it was. And I think there's a fine difference between that. It literally was just the cutscenes, right? And like with how, for me, the plot of Kingdom Hearts is still a bit hard for me to wrap my head around. So then you add on that, it was kind of like I was sitting in on a fucking lecture in that regard. And so that's why I had a bad time with it. But when I played God of War, I fucking couldn't wait to get to the next like cutscene little bit, because of how fucking well done they did it. Because, well, particularly with God of War, you know, it was like a masterpiece in cinematics, because like it blended in with the rest of the game. If you recall, I don't know if you played God of War, but have you played God of War?
Yeah, I've played all.
So
I played all of them. I just haven't finished the first two. But the rest of them, yeah, I finished.
Okay, well then, for the 2018 God of War, right? If you as you recall, those cutscenes just blended in with the rest of the game. There was no like, you know, black screen to cut, you know, into the cutscenes and all that stuff. There was none of that. It was like, it just, yeah, you lost control of the character, and like you knew, because then the camera would kind of pan a little bit closer to the characters when it was time for a cutscene, and then it'll pan back out when you had control again. but it was so seamless that it was kind of just like it was like an interactive movie, more or less, right? And that's never really been that big of a problem. And I mean, I will say, I guess a lot of the games are like that, which does bug me a bit because it didn't bug me until I played Ratchet and Clank. Because like when you talk to people, it kind of like made their interactions kind of seem like it kind of felt like I was playing Fallout with the way it would kind of just pan between the two different characters, back and forth, and I was like, this is weird in my Ratchet and Clank game because it's not what I expected, and I guess that's just like maybe it's just the way the whole industry is moving forward. I don't know, but I haven't heard that criticism. Then again, I'm not keeping my eyes on all the Reddit pages out there or anything, so maybe I just don't know. But I don't think that's a huge problem, though.
Like I said, you will be surprised. I only reason I brought it up is because like either from content creators that I'll follow or people make memes of like there's a meme of someone like going to the movie theaters and they say that what it's like to be a Sony person. Like you play a game and then why is my camera moving around? You play a game for 1 second and then you put the controller down and you're eating popcorn because it's like it's just constant cutscenes that are like damn near movies. And that is true for God of War, where there was like not really there was like the initial load screen and then everything after that is you just in the game. Kind of same for like Kingdom Hearts 3, where even though there are cutscenes, the cutscenes lead you right into playing the game. Like I know while I haven't finished it, and I think I haven't watched too much of Sammy playing it. Last of Us 2 was one of the big major ones people kept talking about, how that it's like a little bit of gameplay and then just cutscenes. You're just like you're putting the controller down and just watching what's happening.
Maybe that's true. I haven't played it. But I can tell you that like Last of Us 1 had a lot of cutscenes, but honestly, like I just want to get to the next cutscene in that regard, because that story was so fucking gripping.
Okay.
So it's like I didn't care. That's what I want. Tell me more about develop these characters further, please. Thank you. That's what I'm here for. I will also say that Sony's been doing this for a fucking fat minute. Does no one remember Metal Gear Solid 1? Like, that game had the longest fucking cutscenes ever. Yeah, and you can look at even like the PS3 era of Ratchet and Clank. A lot of cutscenes in those games, like in between levels, in the levels themselves, sections of the levels themselves. You know, a lot of cutscenes. And Uncharted, like even back in the PS3 era of Uncharted 1, even in 2007, had a lot of cutscenes. So this isn't anything new. Honestly, if you look at the history of Sony's titles throughout the years, they've had a lineage of having a lot of story in their games, at least in their first party games. So I would just say this is nothing new. I don't know why all of a sudden it's now coming into the discussion, but this isn't anything new.
And then that's the thing, like they weren't making it seem, at least from what I could tell, they weren't making it seem like it's something new. They were making it, they were saying it more so of, okay, Microsoft realizes that this is what they're doing, that they realize that they have to do better or like constantly change up, so that way people keep coming back. While Sony's kind of still doing the same thing, like you mentioned, where they kind of know that they're in their bag, and so they're going to stick to the same formula over and over again. And while it's working for them now, people are, at least what they were saying is that over time, people are going to get stagnant or bored at the fact that the game is still, that Sony's doing the same thing over and over again, and they're not changing up their formula at all.
Yeah, they just need to come with more diversity. I mean, I don't think they should ever stop doing what they're doing as far as the story-based, narrative-driven titles are concerned, because they're some of the best reviewed games in any given year that they come out in. And in some cases, they're some of the best selling games at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Outside of your duties and your sports titles, right, or in your GTA's. Outside of those, they're usually the highest rated type of game and sometimes best selling as well. They just need to diversify, which it seems to be they're doing. I read a report, I think this week, that they're trying to. I think they're building some new games or studios with the purpose of building games that are more focused on live service, because obviously that's where the industry's at right now. And like I'm saying, like they're still going. I think they're always going to do that. Sony will always probably still keep doing that. They're always going to have their some studios just doing that because there's still clearly a demand for it. Excuse me. But to diversify things, so you can stop having people say that that's all they do, is that they need to get into these. Like live service games, these multiplayer focused games, and that's fine. They should do that. They should do that. And it's funny, they actually used to do that. If you look at the PS3 era, they didn't really develop this huge focus to single player titles until, like, I would honestly just say at the end of the PS3/PS4 era is when you started really seeing like them acknowledging how heavily focused they were on these first party, these narrative driven first party titles. It's not like they didn't have any, but like it wasn't as much. But like the ones that they had, like for instance, I don't know if you remember, but PS3 had. Remember the game called Mag? Remember that game?
I think so.
I think it was a massive action game or something like that. It was like that war game. It was like that modern warfare type of game. It was a PS3 exclusive from 2010, and it was an online only game before that was even a popular thing. So they had done stuff like that, and you look at Resistance. Remember Resistance?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone remembers Resistance. That was a really near dear spot for some people. I never played it because I wasn't just I thought it was a first person game, a shooter game, but it's not. It's like actually a third person, which I'm like, oh shit, maybe I should have given it a shot. But people really liked it. I was also turned up because it was made by Insomniac, the Ratchet and Clank guys, which I was like, what the fuck is this? This isn't Ratchet and Clank. So I was like, you betrayed me. How could you do this to me? But that game had online multiplayer, right? That was supposed to be like some kind of an answer to like Gears of War, or I think it was supposed to be like some kind of answer to Gears of War. Honestly, it wasn't. It did end up being that. It had its own fan base, but it did not end up being anything like that. But it had like its online multiplayer and all that. And then Killzone came out. Remember Killzone? Killzone 2 was a fucking heavy seller for Sony at the time. When they were in desperate need of like exclusives, and that how multiplayer, they were trying to tap into that multiplayer heavy market, right? And they were doing all these kind of more competitive focused type of titles, not so much on their single player offerings. And I don't know if they just realized that their personal fan base just wasn't really into it as much as like the Xbox people were, or what. But you started seeing them waning a little bit from that, as far as their own personal first-party titles were concerned, and they just shifted their gear because they just realized that it wasn't working for them. But now it seems like they're trying to give it another shot with these live service titles, investing in those. And I mean, they kind of already did. I mean, what's that game called? Warzone or Warframe? Warframe. I think that's a free-to-play game. And I think you probably like buy expansions or I think they're all free. But you probably buy like other cosmetics and other shit like that, I imagine, or like boosts and stuff. And so like, and that game's still going on. It was like around when the PS4 launched, and it's still thriving. So they've had a little bit of success in that regard. But it looks to be like they're just trying to get their hands back into it, and we'll see what happens. But they're not new to this. They decided to just change their strategy. And this is I think they're kind of going back to try to go down the well again and see what happens with this latest game, with this latest trend. So that's kind of that's where my thoughts are at. But like, none of this is new. If you do your research, or you're like a nerd like me and remember all this shit, you'll know that this isn't really anything new.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I know it was not new, but like that's where they were going at. And like that, I guess what I'm asking is, do you think that as a Sony person and a PlayStation person, do you think that Xbox people will, I guess, turn the tide and they will be like, we will be where the Xbox people were, or where the Xbox people are now, where while they have their own games to their own right, they're just, I guess in my own opinion, they're not as good as Sony is right now. Do you think that the tide will turn?
If it does, it's going to be Sony's fault. Not the players. It's going to be Sony's fault. Keep in mind, the only reason why the tide turned so harshly last time, from when it was all about Xbox and PlayStation, was because of Xbox's own hubris. I mean, it wasn't the people that said, hey, we have an option for those who can't play Xbox One. It's called the Xbox 360. It wasn't the people that said that. It was the fucking Xbox execs that said that.
Very true.
It wasn't the people that asked for an always online system, and like the always DRM or whatever the fuck they called it. It wasn't the players that wanted to never be able to play any used title of any game ever on their console, because people can't always afford a $60 game all the time. It wasn't the players that wanted all that shit. It was Xbox that did that, or gave that messaging across. They shot their asses in the foot, not the players. And then the players responded and realized that, like, okay, seems to be Xbox doesn't have it out for us, so fuck them. We're gonna go to seemingly who does, and it seems to be Sony does. So, I mean, obviously they just jumped on an opportunity, but they were just like, whatever. If Xbox isn't gonna change their mind on this shit, then I'll just go somewhere else. And they went somewhere else in droves, as you remember. They dropped Xbox so fucking fast. I was working at GameStop around the time of those launches. Maybe a year or two after those games launched. And yeah, bro, like the amount of PlayStations we had on any given day to compare to an Xbox, yeah, it's like 2 to 1. All right. And like that was when Xbox stopped giving out sales numbers and shit. Like you knew that they knew that they were like, fuck, like, yeah, this is it for us. And then they have been on the defensive and basically been quiet and rebuilding themselves ever since. Like that probably was what propelled them to launch the Game Pass in the first place, because they wanted to keep players as much as they can. So they were like, okay, we're just gonna give you guys you pay this one premium price, we're gonna give you all the fucking games you could ever want in your fucking life. And we're gonna put all our, as of right now, we're gonna put all of 5 of our exclusives on it day one. Don't worry about it. Because they wanted to keep the players that they had, right? Now, if we see a shift back to Xbox, and like as this generation goes on, it's gonna be Sony's fault.
So do you think the Game Pass is helping or hindering them in the long term? Because for like Sony, like you mentioned before, people buy these games. People buy God of War, people buy Last of Us 2, no matter the cost of it. Do you think that for Xbox, for them to have their day one exclusives like the Halo, and there were other games that they let people get away with having for free without even having to pay for it. They had to pay for the membership for it, but other than that, like long term, they didn't have to pay the $60 for the game. Do you think that's hurting or helping Xbox?
Well, if we're talking financially, no idea. Xbox says that it's making money. They claim it makes money. There's still a lot of skepticism amongst like industry insiders and people who actually like worry about the stock and stuff like that, like shareholders and shit like that. There's a lot of skepticism from those people who aren't entirely sure if it's good for the business, but it is tremendously good for the consumer.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Like no doubt about it. Like, and it's also a great PR move as well. Like, it builds a lot of goodwill amongst your players, which is why when the last time we had a in person E3 or whatever, when Phil Spencer shows up on the fucking stage, he gets an ovation. All right, people love this guy, and him, the changes that he's brought to Xbox ever since they fucking shot themselves in the ass in 2013, those Xbox people have been noticing, and they've regardless if it's for business reasons or not, the end result is that he's doing stuff that's good for the player base. So they're going to respond in kind with cheering this dude on, and being advocates for him and for the brand. So if your question, is it good for Xbox? It is great for them as far as building a good relationship with their players, but as far as we're talking behind the scenes business longevity wise, I don't know, because you have a lot of people who think that it's great and it will bring a lot of money, and you have others who think that it won't. So I don't know. It's been a couple years since they've had it, and it's still going strong, and more publishers are putting their games on Game Pass day one, so it has to speak for something, so but to answer your question, I don't know as far as the business side, but obviously, I mean, if it's good just in general for players, yeah, it's fucking fantastic. And that's why even though at the moment Sony players have no problem with buying their first party stuff with or without a subscription, that could change. That idea, that motive might change once Xbox has once those 1,000 studios that they bought recently, through 2 or 3 years from now, when those whatever games they're working on finally start coming out in droves, and they actually can have an equal footing to Sony with exclusives, yeah, you're gonna start seeing the players being okay, yeah, this is getting ridiculous now. We were fine because Xbox had 3 exclusives, so we didn't care, but now that they have 1,000 and they're on the same footing as us, we kind of want the same luxury that those players are getting too, with this premium subscription service that you want us to pay for. So right now, yeah, but we're talking long term, that mentality might change,
I agree with you on that. Personally, I do think that right now it does help them out. But I feel like a lot of their games don't do as big because like I mentioned for Halo, not that Halo got a big pop when it first came out, but hardly anyone is playing it. At least I'm sure the people that love and stand Halo, they're still playing it. But the casual streamers, or people that just playing it because they want to play something new and want to play Halo, I don't really hear too much hype about Halo anymore as I did before.
That's not a... Okay, first of all, for anyone who might watch it later, yes, we are 2 PlayStation guys, but we're trying to be as unbiased as possible.
Fuck Xbox.
Okay, I will try to be at least as unbiased. Lying and being on whatever shit he wants to be on. To answer your... to kind of provide more context for that, I don't think that's a Game Pass issue, because honestly, it probably gave a lot of people... If we're talking about streamers or whatever, creators and stuff, it gave them a chance to play the game when they probably never would have played it otherwise. Because if they don't care about it, they're not going to buy it. Well, maybe some will for the views, but a lot of them won't. But with the Game Pass, they can. So it gave them an avenue to play it otherwise when they couldn't. But as far as the player base dropping off, I'm not going to speak to that. I don't have the Steam numbers. Well, yeah, I think Steam. Whatever concurrent player numbers on PC are, and I don't even know how you can track it on Xbox. I don't know if you can. But regardless of the drop off, I've heard about it, and yeah, it hasn't really been in the only news I hear about it is bad. But that's because it had a really bad launch. And that's not the Game Pass's fault at all. So that's outside of the scope of Game Pass. That's just a matter of the devs and Microsoft not launching this game in the best condition that it could have. Which that was noted from like a week after it launched. People were just like, it's missing all these playlists and all these modes and this and that. Like, no one really had much to say about the single player too much, so I think the single player seemed to be fine. But obviously, though, as Halo is defined by its multiplayer as much as it is defined by its narrative with Master Chief.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think anyone really plays Halo. Like, it's like Call of Duty. People hardly play Call of Duty for the story anymore.
No. What I'm saying is, I think in Halo's case, no, a lot of people do play Halo for the story. Because, I mean, how else can Master Chief be as well known of a gaming character as he is if no one played the single player?
Touche.
So, I mean, there was like this contest that was actually held like, I don't know, 2012, 2013, or something like that. And it was something IGN did, and I actually participated because it was pretty fun. They were doing like a top gaming icon of all time. And it was done like at the end of the year, and there was like a tiered list, like a bracket list and all that shit for like sports and stuff. And you could vote for each of the different battles, that the characters were having. And I think the final four were Commander Shepard, Voss from Far Cry 3, I believe, Mario, because Mario, and then or maybe it was Mario, and then I think it was Master Chief. I think Master Chief was top 4. If he wasn't top 4, top 8 for sure. And I think that tournament had like 100 or 50 of the most well-known gaming characters of all, across the decades, right? I'm pretty sure it was 50 or 100. And it got to the at least top 8. You don't get to the top 8 by being in a game that no one plays, right? So I'm just giving some extra context for that people do play Halo, not exclusively for single player launch. I don't think many people are playing it just for single player, but I will say that the Halo is as much defined by its single player as much as it is defined by its multiplayer. So, but no one really had much complaints about the single player from what I've seen. I haven't checked any Reddit pages, so I don't know, but from what I've seen in the main media for that game when it came out, no one really had too much to gripe about. It was all pissing on the multiplayer.
I heard it was the microtransaction.
It could have been that, but it was. I mostly heard shit about like just shit was unbalanced. They didn't have the right playlist included. They just all these things were missing from it. For a lot of players, and also like toxicity and stuff like that coming in, which that was to be expected, but still, it's still a problem. So you had all these issues with the multiplayer that just, when it came out, it just wasn't what people wanted. People, I mean, especially with how many delays that game had, people were respecting the fucking moon, and they weren't giving it. And so that's a Microsoft problem for not putting up for as long as people have waited for that game, for it to still not come out in a satisfactory enough condition for most of its player base. So yeah.
All right. Well,
man, I pray to God my audio's coming through properly when you edit this shit. Because I will be damned if I'm saying all this shit and then I rewatch it and then you can barely hear me again.
You can hear you just fine, and if you,
I will throw a fit.
You will have a BF. Is that what you're hearing? Is that what I'm hearing? Is you'll have a whole BF about if you can't hear yourself? I will let you know.
I'm gonna have a fit if I don't hear myself.
I will let you know that you are well louder than the game itself. I even have the game a little bit lower because of the fact that really nothing's happening. I'm just like farming.
Are you still in Atlantica?
Yeah, I'm still in Atlantica.
How are you still in Atlantica, dog?
Because I'm going and clearing every single floor. I am Batman in this. I am prep timing the hell.
I did the same thing. I get it. But how are you still there? You are not gonna be done with this at any time.
I am gonna be done with this. Watch, I will be done with this even if I have to do a whole all-nighter and be up under my bed like I was last time. Oh my god.
Don't do that to yourself.
Oh my god, like you don't even understand. Like when I got done streaming, I went to sleep and I don't know what time I woke up, but whatever time I did wake up, it clearly was not around a good time because like I felt like I had a hangover. I was so fucking tired and just my body was like, no, we're not getting up right now. Fuck this. And I went back to sleep. I'm so glad I have blackout curtains now because like I will move those some bitches over and go back to sleep.
Something else, man. Yeah, I messaged you the next day.
Yeah.
It was like in the afternoon, and you still didn't even get back to me right away. Like,
oh yeah, I was good and dead. I told you, I was dead to the world.
you literally almost died on us, bro. Like.
oh yeah, definitely. I think like my stepdad even texted me like he needed me for something, and he was like it's after the fact. Now I'm like, oh okay, and I went back to sleep. I was like, I don't even care. I don't care.
You went right back to sleep.
Yes, I did. I went right back to sleep. I think other people were trying to contact me too, and like I was just like, no, I don't care. Whatever it is, I don't care. It's not as important as what getting to sleep in.
Over sleeping a little too long that day.
I needed all that sleep. I was up for about 7 hours beating this game, yelling and screaming and hyping myself up because my own white mage did not do their job.
Oh, we still on that?
Yes, we're still on that. I am still hurt that I have to white mage my own self. I am not meant for this lifestyle. I am the berserk character where all I do is just attack. Even if I damage myself in the midst of my attack and I, lose a lot of life, all I need is my white mage to keep my HP before it goes to 0. Where were you at? You were being Donald. I don't need a Donald.
You done?
Right now, at least. I'm sure I'll go back on a tangent in a second.
Alright, well, shut up. either ask me another question or shut up.
Alright. Let me think. What else? I gotta also, traverse the world as I come up with my questions to ask.
The world's not that big, man. You shouldn't have that much problem with it.
I mean, no, it's not the fact of, it's just more of walking, because, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more rooms. 6 if you count the room where I need to actually go and fight Ursula. I'm level 46 right now.
Cool.
So, and we're gonna take a turn, or not turn. We're gonna take a transition. There we go. Better word. Transition from the world of gaming to the world of movies. And I'm sure you've heard about the incident at the Oscars. What is your take on that?
I don't care.
I'm sure you don't care, but for the people watching,
that was honestly my take. I was like, why do fucking people care?
Okay.
It doesn't deal with us. It doesn't matter to us. It doesn't change our lives. Why the fuck do we care?
While I will say that it doesn't change our lives as us being regular average Joe people, I will say it does paint us as, African Americans in a bad light, where, we were, some people say that we weren't really getting good representation at the Oscars to begin with, and so the one time that we do get good representation is about, 2 people fighting over a G.I. Jane joke.
Again, I'm not trying to, it sucks that we have to bring up race into this.
Again, this is a hot take. You're in a safe space. It's a safe space. So go off.
Really going off is just at first I was like, this shouldn't be about race, but people just cannot help but make it about race because it involves 2 black guys. If it was 2 white guys, there'd be no race conversation at all, and it just pisses me off. It pisses me off that it's there's 2 black guys, so obviously it's oh no, black people now, doing that. I'm like, what the fuck? It was just, he happened to be, Chris Rock happens to be black, Will Smith happens to be black, he slapped him, alright, and that's that. He said some shit that he probably shouldn't have said, Will Smith. I mean, and you also think about the fact too, like Will Smith and that entire Smith family has just been getting dogged on for how long now? Like they can't catch a break, right?
For about 2 years now.
You can't fucking. They can't fucking catch a break, right? No matter, it doesn't matter how good of a movie Will Smith comes out with, they can't avoid just getting shit on in some weird way or another. And I know some of it sometimes their own fault with how unorthodox they are with their entire familial situation, but still, it's just like.
Okay, so how about this? Do you?
I mean, honestly, I will say though, as much I would rather have it been two black guys than if one of them was white. Right? That would have probably been even fucking worse.
That definitely would have been worse. Okay, so let's detour from taking race out of the situation in terms of just defending one's woman. Do you think that Will was correct in what he did, or do you feel like there was a time and a place for the matter? And we taking race out. We taking race out in terms of just.
No, I am taking it out. It's just, okay. I can see both sides. I'm not even sure because like, as much as I think that like, yeah, he said some shit because then it's like, should Chris Rock had made that insensitive of a joke and that grand of a stage, right? Like it's supposed to be okay, it's one thing to do it in his own comedy special, like if he was doing one or whatever, that's one thing. But then to do it, like, at the fucking Oscars, in front of, I mean, I know the viewership of that show has been going down, but there's still a few million people that are watching. And so it's like, you're gonna make a joke that insensitive about a very, I don't know what it was, but it seems to be some kind of an embarrassing condition to have.
Right. It is
It's what?
It's just baldness. Like you not so much baldness, but you lose hair.
Is it the same thing that Tupac had?
No. So what Tupac had is just you instead of you losing just your head hair, you lose all hair on you.
Really all his hair was gone.
Well, no, not for Tupac, but I'm saying for Jada, that's what she has. Like alopecia is just she lost all her hair. Like all her hair that's on her is like it's hard for her to grow hair. So like that's really just it. But I will say
so she had what Tupac had, which is worse.
Yeah,
just everywhere.
I think just Tupac just shaved his head. Like I think he just hit that. Black people look bald. We look better bald.
No, he actually had a condition where he actually couldn't grow head hair.
Really?
I found this out because, when I was in college, I had a professor who actually had the exact same condition, and that's why she was so interested in him and studied him and stuff, like his life, because they have the same condition. So that's why I brought him up. But now you know something. Yeah, he actually did have a condition. He didn't choose to be bald. I mean, he may have still have, because like you said, yeah, black people.
Choose to be bald.
I mean, he still looked good in it, so it's not like he lost anything. But as far as though, yeah, it's like it's one thing to say it in your comedy special, but to say it at the Oscars, something so far-reaching as the Oscars, or as formal and prestigious. Like it's one thing to have this sit in a special, right? Like if she's at home or whatever, she could just choose to ignore it, She can just choose to ignore it, pay no attention to it. Will Smith could have done the same, whatever. He just wants to say some stupid shit on his special. Because it happens all the time in people's specials. That's just what happens, right? Yeah. But to say it when they're fucking there, right there, and she's amongst her peers, and she's been dealing with, who knows how she's been feeling about having this condition. You know what I mean? And then to be picked on for it, completely unabated. You didn't I don't think she's done anything to Chris. To have him throw that slight at her. For her to have done nothing, I believe, to deserve that diss. To have him say that in front of all those people, it's I think the question will also be equally pointed at him. So we're like, should he did he choose the right place and time to say something that insensitive, right? You can make the case that they're both at fault because they both did stuff that they probably shouldn't have done on such a formal stage. That's my take. Because I don't know if I would have like done the same if like my woman would have been given something like that, like said something like that. Even at the Oscars, I don't think I would have gone up and slapped the shit out of the guy. But I'm glad he did it just for the sake of it though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I first read, I was like, good. Like my first thought, not even thinking about anything bad or good, you know, who's wrong, who's right. I just said good, just good, because I was like, we need more of this fucking shit. Like people forget, like all these actors and actresses, they come, like not all of them are fucking born with silver tongues in their mouths or silver spoons in their mouths. Not all of them were came from privilege. Not all of them, especially if they're black. Most of the time they didn't. You know, not all these people are the same French people on the board or whatever who are all fucking uppity and all this shit. Like Will Smith grew up in Philly, like, you know, and a lot of these actors, especially if they're black or Hispanic, they like J-Lo even, like she grew up in the Bronx, dog. Like she grew up in some hard places, and it's like you're supposed, like, yeah, you can get out of it, but it doesn't mean that like, it doesn't mean you're completely changed. It doesn't mean that like, oh, now all of a sudden you're like, oh, high society and you're all uppity and posh and shit like that. Like you can still have never like fully let go of what brought you here or what brought you there. You know, have a little bit of that hood in you, whether you came from Philly, Chicago, Bronx, Harlem, you know, South Central, you know, whatever, all the tough places in the country. That's still there, and eventually it's gonna fucking show. It's gonna come out because we're also human. If you forgot, or I'm not telling you, but you know, if people forgot, we're all still fucking human, and we're gonna have our points where we're just done taking shit, and it's gonna sometimes show up in the worst places, like the Oscars. I
was about to say, yeah, because they're a better place to have that instead of there. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad I did it though, because it's just hilarious that type of shit all happening, because you know everyone's all fucking, because like it's like one of the most fucking formal, uppity places to be. Like I would hate going to the Oscars, honestly. Like I would not want to go, even if I was invited. I would fucking not go if I was in that position to go to the Oscars. I'd be like, I'm fine. I'm gonna stay home and play some PlayStation. If I get an award, I'll just watch it on the TV and they can send it to me.
Wow.
I wouldn't give a shit, bro. I wouldn't give a shit at all. At least that's how I feel now. I mean, I have no idea how I would think if I was actually like an actor that could go to the Oscars, but I wouldn't want to fucking. Okay, I'll probably go once, and then after that, I'm like, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I don't really care. I don't really care about really most of that shit, but anyways, yeah. What's your follow up?
So my take, and it kind of stems from again, this is just not from what I heard, but like I kind of agree with some people are saying where at the end of the day, while the joke was it wasn't as bad. Have you seen G.I. Jane?
Is that a show or something?
No, it's a movie. It's a movie. Best way I could describe it is like Mulan or Joan of Arc, where the main character is a woman. She is bald, but she shaved her head to join the army. And so, while I understand that the joke stemmed from the fact that she is bald and that Jada is bald and that her condition she cannot control, there are countless men that are bald, and we just have to take that L, right? Will you agree with that statement, or we have to do like stuff to like make it so that we don't look bald? We either take balding pills, or we now have weaves now. But we get laughed at if we have if a man finds out, or if a woman finds out that you have a man weave, you get laughed at, or a man weave, you kind of get laughed at. Will you agree to that statement?
No idea that was a thing for men.
Oh yeah, there's no such thing as man weave. Like it's a new hot sensation sweeping the nation, where now men are putting like, not only are they have sweeping the nation, yes, a hot sensation sweeping the nation. Men are now having either toupees or actual weave put into their head, where they
toupees. I know toupees. Toupees. Is that what you're talking about? Or is this man weave different?
Man weave is actually different. There are people that are like, because they'll put like fake hair and then shave it down to like style it up, and that's their weave that they'll put in, or they'll fill in their hair. They'll fill in the spots with some type of like shine to make it look like their hair is actually there. So we and this is not on no men or women bashing shit, but like we've had to take this L. We had to take this L when we lose our hair. We just like, times is tough, and no one really bats an eye for us. But when a woman either shaves her head, or like in this case loses her hair, it's either an empowerment step where a woman's like, I'm tired of having to do something with my hair, so I'm gonna shave it off. When it's like that, then it's an empowerment. Not to say that we knew that she was going through this, but let's say that Chris Rock didn't know that this was an actual serious condition, and not that she just had a burr up her ass and was like, what, I'm tired of this, I'm gonna shave my head off type shit, right?
I think if it was just her shaving on purpose, like some, especially because black women also look good bald.
Right.
That's the plus, right, for being black. And if it was just a choice, and it was known that she's one of black women that wants to be bald, because it happens, I don't think that joke would have even been as bad.
And it wasn't.
I honestly think that joke was only so bad because she had that condition.
And I will say that yes, it looked like her feelings were hurt. And I can understand how her feelings could be hurt by that joke. Again, if and when the day comes where we get to the point of where our hair no longer grows back, we either have to do one of two things. We either just have to just deal with it and just like let the cards go, shave it off. We can put a hair toupee, or we can fight to the very last ditch effort and try everything to keep our hair together. But at the end of the day, there aren't really methods to help us out. We just have to we don't have a Will Smith. We don't have a Will Smith when your homie wants to talk about the fact that you're bald, or when you have to reintroduce yourself to people and they're like, well, what happened to your head? We don't have a Will Smith to come in and smacks people for us. We just gotta take that L.
Bro, we got you want to talk about things sweeping the nation? We got the keeps, bro. You not heard about the keeps?
If I have to put, so the hair pills and the toupees. So hair pills will give you hair for a little bit, but once you get hair, there are some things that don't work anymore as a middle-aged man. You're not even an elderly man when this problem comes up. You're a middle-aged man, and something does not work anymore.
As long as you have some hair on your head, that keeps supposed to bring it back, or bring the rest of it back with you.
Okay, I can have hair, but if my dick don't work, I don't want hair anymore at the cost of my dick not working, RJ.
Wait, why wouldn't your dick work? Your dick should be fine.
That's the point. Like, when you take those hair pills, some of them give you erectile dysfunction.
Oh well.
What do you mean, oh well? What do you mean, oh well?
You got your hair.
The hair is supposed to give me confidence. If I got someone in, like, okay, let's say that I take the hair pills, right? Okay, I take the hair pills and my dick does not work, but I have the confidence now. Once I get shawty to the bed, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Take some Viagra.
So now I'm taking dick pills and head pills. Do you know how much
Bro,
that's going?
You make it work, dog. You make it work. All right. If you want to get that sweet puss, you gotta make it work.
See, that's the.
You do whatever you need to.
So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that we have to go through all this effort to keep our hair when we don't have there are studies that can help us out, or at least just make it fair for us too. We got to go through all these efforts just to keep our hair and not get talked about through our community, and that's my whole point. It's like, it's just, we don't have a Will Smith. It seemed like while the joke wasn't that bad, it kind of felt like it was a time and a place, and he should not have hit Chris at that part. Like, he should not have hit Chris at the award show about a balding joke. Yes, he probably should have talked to him about it, or at least been like, hey man, I don't appreciate that. We're gonna handle this outside, but not at the awards show. And then my second thing is, granted they had an open marriage, but you know, clearly Will did not see it as such, and he has been like dealing with that for a while. So I feel like, you know, I kind of feel no sympathy for Jada because of the fact of what she kind of put Will through. And like, again, this could be just me, but I feel like, you know, a balding joke would have been is the least of what you deserve for, you know, literally putting that man business out for the world and making him a meme. Like, he's still a meme even to this day about what August did. So okay, so you may not know this, but
when he had that talk, that weird ass talk show thingy, and then like Will Smith was crying.
Yeah,
and then like Whitney memed the hell out of it.
Yes. So the
person... I thought, okay, I seen the meme of him crying and shit, and I was like, are we really gonna meme this dude fucking really crying?
Yeah.
Are we literally monsters?
That's the other thing. Like, we are monsters about it. Like, this man he was literally in tears about the fact that his wife had an entanglement, we'll call it, when at the end of the day she cheated. They say they had an open marriage. That's what they're going with. That they had an open marriage, that it was agreed upon, that they weren't together at the time, but they were seeing other people. It sounded more so like she was seeing other people while Will was not.
I guess Will's too fucking busy making movies.
Even if that's the case, like, you still, like, he took that way too hard. For someone that's having an open marriage, you seem to took that a little bit more so to heart than you should have.
Well, no, he probably, I mean, just because they said it doesn't mean they both like were completely down with it.
Which is sometimes
couples sometimes just do that to keep the marriage alive. And so, I'm not saying that's the case for them, but like perhaps maybe Jada was about to leave, and Will was like, "What can I do to keep this alive?" And she was like, "Well, I don't know. Let me just fool around with whoever I want, whenever I want, and I don't want to hear shit from you about it." And that dummy was like, "All right, that sounds good."
Which, yeah, he was dumb as hell for agreeing to that if that was the case. But that's
it's like dumb, and it's also not dumb. It's like, I mean, obviously, if that's the case, he has some infatuation with this woman still. You know, he still loves Jada despite all this shit. Which is like, bro, really? Like, of all the people to get caught up, to be this caught up in someone, you're like the last person I expected to have it happen to. Yeah, he obviously still has feelings for her. I mean, otherwise, I mean, if he didn't give that shit, if he didn't get that much shit about her, he wouldn't have slapped Chris, obviously.
Yeah, like, clearly he
I don't know what the fuck Jaden did to Will, but Jada, sorry, she's done something to this man.
She has him whipped, like literally and figuratively whipped.
Yeah. She's done some shit to this guy. Because he crying on national television, doing all this other weird shit. Like, he just wants to fucking make movies. He just wants to make movies and make love. That's all he wants to do. And I don't know what's up with it, but I don't know, she ain't feeling the same, and just putting this man through the ringer.
Well, that's because she will say this, that she still has feelings for Tupac, like, even to this day, and Will knows
Tupac,
this.
What?
Yeah, they were together. They were a thing. You didn't know that?
What?
Yes, they were a thing before Tupac. Like they were. If Jada had her way and Tupac hadn't died, they would have gotten married.
What? I had no idea.
Yeah. If that, so like, she's always had like a, like, that was her first love type thing.
So she's been with all these, like, she's used to being with famous black guys.
Yes. She's especially singers and like rappers and type shit. So yeah. So I and Will knows this, and so like that was another thing. He accepted this, I guess, and was like he was like, okay, well, I know that she always has feelings for Tupac, and I will never be able to change that. I was like, I would never. Batman himself could not get that information out of me, saying that, you know, I'm perfectly fine with my being cucked by a ghost. Like, no. I refuse. Like, I refuse to let that.
That is so nuts, though. How, like, no matter how cool, like, Will Smith is just fantastic, right? Despite the memes, like, it's just, I don't care how bad Suicide Squad did, but him as Deadshot was fucking amazing. That was just so cool to see a black Deadshot and for it to be him. I don't know how you felt about that casting, but me and my buddy David, we fucking loved the shit out of it.
I just didn't like the Joker. That was the only thing I didn't like.
Jared Leto's Joker. Yeah. I didn't really care. But it's just, when we, because we were both working at GameStop, when we found out that he was Deadshot, we were like, we're seeing the movie. We're seeing the movie, right? Yeah, absolutely. Why do you even have to ask me? Why do you even ask me that? Why are we even having a conversation? And he was fucking awesome, in our opinion. We loved him as Deadshot, and I wish he had came back for the James Gunn version. I wish they had brought back him. I mean, because they brought back Margaret Robbie. Yeah, they brought back Margaret Robbie for Harley Quinn. I was thinking, why wouldn't you also bring back?
Well, I think the thing was, he said that he was getting ready to do like King Richard, the Wendy Williams, not Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
Serena Williams.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the Williams sisters' dad. Yeah. That's why. That's a bummer too. I mean, I guess that movie won awards, so I mean, I guess he made a good choice, but I still wish he was in it though. Yeah, but it's funny. It's no matter how big of an actor he is, right? He's been in some of the biggest shit. Like, remember the mid 2000s? He was on a roll. You couldn't stop Will Smith, movie wise. Like I Am Legend, and then I, Robot, and then Passion. What was that the movie called? The Passion of the something or whatever.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness. That one. You know, that man was just on a roll. You couldn't fucking stop him. And I'm sure, you know, other movies. Oh, and Hancock. People love Hancock. Yeah, he's on a fucking. You couldn't stop this man from he was just bringing out bangers, bro. Kind of like the Sony's first party game lineup, bro. Just banger after banger, bro. And then despite all that, to think that that Jada possibly has the hots for Tupac, who has been dead for 20 years now. That just tells you how fucking good Tupac was. In the short time frame that he was active, man. Oh, too soon.
That and the fact that you also gotta take, like, while Will Smith is cool to us, to some people, when you compare him to Tupac, he is like Carlton. He is Carlton to his own right. He is which is pathetic. Yeah, like he was, even his raps, like he didn't cuss until like he got to a certain age. So like Jada liked the bad boys. Like at the end of the day, she's still in her bad boy phase, which is why she had no problem with like doing this. Like even in her I'm about to die. Even in her because she just recently had commented on the incident, and she made it seem like she was like, yeah, you know, this is a new year, new season of this shit happened. Like he learned his lesson basically. In a simpler term, she was basically saying that like Chris Rock learned his lesson not to fuck with. And I kind of felt like that was like she kind of didn't need to like be. She deserved more than she got. For at least for that joke, she kind of deserved more than that. And Chris didn't deserve that, and Will doesn't really deserve what he's gotten. Like, he's been good to this woman, and the fact that she's done this and put him through this just because he's not as cool as Tupac, which it's Tupac. Like, at the end of the day, it's Tupac. Like, you can't be, the man is dead and you still can't, like, there are rappers to this day that still aren't as good as a dead man that makes music.
Well, yeah, because those lead rappers today are constantly saying that Tupac is still number one or number two, depending on, you know, who you are. I mean, there's this line in the song from Eminem. It's not a hit or anything, but it was on Marshall Mathers LP2 track. Oh, how did it go? It was like there's something along the lines of like Biggie and Tupac being like the first and two best rappers ever, more or less. And he said that it was the same album that he did Rap God, and that was 2013. Mm-hmm. And so he was in his 40s, right? And he had already been killing, right? He had already been, you know, he was already you know, an A+ guy in his own right for his time, and he's still like, nah, man, you Tupac, bro, any day. And I bet you Jay-Z would say the same thing. I would say Kanye would say the same thing, but he seems kind of out of his mind at the moment. So, but he would have said that if he wasn't fucking dealing with all those mental health issues he's going through. Yeah. Did you know? Did you hear about him having BP?
Bipolar? Yes. Like.
Yeah.
Okay, and all that we can transition to the next hot take. In all intents and purposes, he has not been the same since his mama died. But I will say this: him getting with Kim had been the best and the worst thing for his career.
I mean, guys, this is the best part because for like publicity and shit.
Oh yeah, definitely publicity. But I would also say the fact that since being with him, he had became like one of the richest black men in America, and I'm going to say that's because of the fact that like whatever Kim was like teaching him, because like she even said that like she was teaching him things about business, and it's a meme now, but he said that, yeah, but I don't listen. Like, I like to think that the nigga was listening a little bit. Like, he had maybe one ear open. And then the second thing is Donda. Like, Donda was a good album. Granted, it's long as hell, but it was a good album, and it all stemmed from the fact that of his relationship with Kim and his mama passing away. Now, the bad things is this man has lost a little bit left of what his mind has lost the rest of. Hold on, I can't talk right now. The man has lost what little of his mind he had left, and just the fact that she has moved on and has moved on with Pete Davidson. Which, do you know who Pete Davidson is?
Everyone knows who Pete Davidson is. Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the odd. I feel like she made this move 20 years too late. It's such a weird pairing to keep them together.
Yes.
It's so weird. Like, I don't know how old Pete Davidson is. I imagine she's probably in his 30s. But she's like making
late 20s.
Is he older than that?
I think he's
he's still in his 20s?
I think he's in his late 20s because he was dating Ariana Grande, and Ariana Grande is like in her 20s still.
I know. Well, I know. Yeah, she's like a year or two older than me, I think. Let me see. Maybe she's my actual age. To me, she still looks like she's 19, and I just can't get over that. She's actually my age. No, well, not anymore. No, she is my age. We're actually born the same year. She's born in her birthday's actually coming up in June. She was born in Florida. Ew. Anyways, yeah, she's born in June 26th. So I'm like only like 3 months older than her, and I don't like that idea. The fact that someone only 3 months older than me is millions of dollars richer than me. But it's like she's almost 30, dog. But she still looks like she's 10 years younger than she is, and that bugs the fuck out of me.
Like, really, I thought she was like in her 20s. Like, I don't know why I thought she wasn't that much older than.
Because she looks like a child still. Like, yeah. I guess, is that a hot take? Like, I mean, to me, she still looks like a fucking child.
She does still look like a child. She does. Okay, respectfully,
she
nothing
tries,
wrong.
She tries, which is funny because she tries. You know, she's trying to like look older, like her age look older. But I'm like, I'm sorry, you just don't. You just don't to me at least. That's just me. Like, she's still pretty, she's still cute, but like, let's say I was ever, I don't know, if I guess she probably lives in California now. If I was ever, because you know, some celebs date non-celebs. If that ever happened to me, like she was maybe eyeing me for whatever reason, maybe she saw me, I don't know, walking on the strip. I don't fucking know. But like, honestly, I probably would turn her down. Honestly, the only reason why I'm staying is legit for money. I am honestly just there for security. and I'm about to do what Kanye was doing. Pretend that I got both my ears closed, but low key though, I'm definitely listening to her shit and like writing notes.
So taking you will notes. Be a house. You're saying that you'll be a house husband. Is that what you're saying?
Oh. No, here's the thing. Like, I would find some other thing to do, business-wise, to keep me going because I do have a degree and I'm not an idiot. Mm-hmm. So I would figure out some way to build up a recurring stream of money for me. Inevitably, when her and I don't work out anymore, so that I'm not fucked afterwards.
I mean, if need be, and now I don't know how you feel about this.
I wouldn't do like, look at, regardless if we got married or not. I wouldn't do some schemy shit like put some shit in like some kind of wedding contract or make some. I wouldn't do any of that shit. I wouldn't try to like make it to where I get half her money or I don't know what those California laws would be.
I would say alimony. Like that's what I was leading to. Like
Yeah, I know you're going to. But, like, I wouldn't be doing any of that shit. That's just not me. I would just try to see what I can do. I would actually just try to get money from her in the moment, like, while I'm with her, and then put it in securities and shit. Like, put it in, like, stock market instruments and stuff like that, because that's what I went to school for. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a fucking idiot. So, and that's a good way to build recurring money. And I don't know if she has control, if she would be able to get like control over that. I don't know. But I would just try to just do that kind of shit, right? Or like just take care of things, buy some shit that like right in the now that I don't have to worry about buying later. But yeah, I would just do that instead, honestly. Because you know what, bro? She's a singer. And I ain't trying to be her on, the subject of her next hit single. So I ain't trying to do none of that easy shit.
You ain't trying to be on her next song where she talks about like your relationship?
No, not me, bro. You ain't gonna fucking do me like that. I've listened to enough Eminem to know that I don't want that problem.
I wouldn't feel bad about like if Ariana Grande did it. Now Taylor Swift is a different story. Taylor Swift, if she makes a song, then you done fucked up. Like the next, I feel sorry for the next relationship.
I feel like you don't even need to do that much to pick a T-Swizzle for her to write a song about you.
You said T-Swizzle. I am
not. I did. I love it. I don't know if you knew, but like when I was in high school, I think you would have been in high school too. But when I was in high school, there was this fucking, I don't even know why or how, but when T-Swizzle was kind of just breaking into the pop scene, getting away from the country roots that she had, she, for some reason, got together with T-Pain, of all people. T-Pain.
I remember my friend had that song.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's called Thug Story. It's called Thug Story. And I heard that with a buddy. I think he played it, and it was the dopest shit I've ever fucking heard.
No, it is not.
It was more because of how stupid and ridiculous it was. But then, but yeah, and then she called herself T-Swizzle, and I was like, fuck yes, T-Swizzle. T-Swizzle.
So what we're not gonna do is call her T-Swizzle. I just love, and bro, you know what? Them rhymes weren't half bad for like a country / pop singer. I was like, you know what? This is okay for like a joke song. This could have been a lot worse, honestly. But then at the end of it, she's like rhyming and whatever, and then she's like, it was gonna end in a swear, but then she like cut herself off, and like she was like, "What? I didn't say it. I didn't swear." And then T-Pain, like in his all-time, was like, "She didn't even swear." So I thought that was just so fucking funny. But yeah, I ain't trying to be on no one's fucking hit single. Alright, I ain't about that life. So I wouldn't want to do over my Ariana. What I want, she could honestly be a good PR tool for me,
because like if we broke up or divorced or whatever have you, and it was like amicable at best, you know, like it was. I mean, it's gonna be sad and painful, but like if it's like amicable, right? And I'm not going on fucking like every news outlet talking shit about her, whatever. Honestly, and like, you know, she'll just hopefully reciprocate the same to me. You know, when she's on the news, which she'll obviously be on the news way more than me, bro, she'll just start like telling people like I was like, yeah, it didn't work out between us, but like he was still like a good guy. And then bam, bro, I got street cred, bro. Street cred.
Yeah, I guess you do got street cred. What the fuck? Why is there so many zeros? I mean, 9.
And then the other lady, and then other ladies would be like, yo, okay, Ariana didn't work out with him, but it doesn't mean it won't work out with me, because at least she's not saying that this dude was a fucking psycho. So that I'm still viable on the streets, bro.
Okay, I
That's
see that.
That's how you play it. That's how you play it, man.
Well, okay, I will say this because like Pete did a stand up about his relationship with her.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Pete. I forgot about that. I forgot we were talking about all that shit. Yeah, I can't believe she's with Pete, bro. She's like playing. She's like doing. I honestly like I said before. She's honestly making a move that she should have made 20 years ago. Like, can you imagine when the Kardashian show was like still on and hot and everything? Pete would have been perfect for that fucking show.
It's still going on. What are you talking about?
I thought it ended.
No,
I thought it finally ended.
They're having
the Kardashians?
They brought back. No, the shows came back. Like they brought back. They're doing more shit now. Of course they're gonna do more. They gotta bring them back.
Oh shit! I didn't know there was. Okay, well yeah, because like Pete is like, but like back then though. No, actually, if he's in his 20s, he would have been like fucking a child. Like he would have been in high school when I was in high school. But like he's like perfect for that show, bro. He's like perfect for it, and he would actually be funny because he is a comedian. Like, but like he is the absolute bad boy, and so it's like I'm just like, Kardashian, like Kim, you're like 40, you got like 2 kids, like the fuck, like you're making this young 20-year-old teenage move in your 40s,
and like prices. That's what it is.
And that's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm wondering. Like, it just must be. Things just. I think that tells you how bad things probably really were behind the scenes with her and Kanye. Because you don't usually make that stark of a difference, like in who you date, unless like whoever you were with beforehand was just was really bad.
Which, if that's the case, like. I feel like she's just trying to check off everyone off of like off of her bucket list or a bingo board, because like she went with, you know, the original person she was with was Ray J, and then she went with like basketball players, then she went with like a Blake Griffin, got married to him, and then yeah, he's a
who the fuck is that?
Oh, he's a basketball player.
I didn't even know she was married beforehand.
Yeah, she was married for like a hot week with this guy.
That's why then. Okay, yeah. So she wasn't even really married with this guy.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so I hardly even count that then. I think that's not even a marriage.
Hey, they did it up. You should see the ring that he got her. Like it was a
whole. Of course, you need a ring still.
No, but I'm saying like the event, it was like on the news and like the Kardashian. I think it was even on the Kardashian show for like a hot second. Like they were.
Well, why wouldn't it be? Of course it would be.
So, but yeah, like, and then she breaks up with him and then gets with Kanye, and then everything's good up until a point, and now we're here to this madness.
Honestly, I didn't even know why those two were together in the first place. I was like, but I was actually kind of wondering, what is Kim getting out of this? I wasn't even so much worried about Kanye. I was like, Kanye, I know what Kanye's getting out of this. Like, there's no question about it. Like, everyone knew what Kanye was plussing out of this relationship. Like, there was no doubt. I don't think anybody can argue that. But I was kind of just wondering, like, what the fuck is Kim getting out of that? Like, honestly, I mean, this is not even knowing anything about Kanye's mental state, right? Like, that aside, I was just like, I just feel like she's not getting really anything out of that relationship. And like, but then you kind of like Kanye was kind of getting in a weird spot. Like, music was kind of weird. He was acting weird. I was just like, what is, like, I don't know. She just has, what is, like, she's obviously not getting anything out of this relationship.
I mean,
and then like when she was in that one music video with him, that became like a fucking meme.
That was
You know, it's like the one time they're actually together, like in a meaningful way, it becomes meme all to hell. I was like, what? Okay, like, I'm surprised they were together as long as they were, to be quite honest. And I bet you part of it probably, because I'm sure she probably found out about his mental issues before the public did. And honestly,
no way
I'd
she
probably,
just found out.
Yeah, she didn't just know. She had to know, because they were together for a good while. So she probably knew before the rest of the public found out about that. And that bitch is probably a big reason why she stayed so long.
And he gave her kids. I think that's really what she wanted at the end of the day.
Well, there is that too. But like, still though, like, because it's tough to leave, like, to leave somebody who you know who's so mentally unstable. Like, that's tough.
I got time for that. Like I said, if you need to save your own self, then you definitely should leave. Big bitch.
Are you? Please tell me you don't know what
I'm fighting her now. I'm fighting her now. Only issue
Have you died
is
yet?
Not yet. No, I got her down 2 stocks. Get over here, you big bitch. Get over here, you big bitch. Yeah, get over here. Let me see that face.
Yeah, nothing going to help you on that one. Like, there's like no tips. There's just nothing.
I am the tip. What do you mean? I am the tip. She's about to catch all of the tip.
That's inappropriate.
She's about to catch all of this tip. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am the tip she's about to catch.
No, not the tip.
Yes. Watch. And
no.
and hold on. Let me just finish. Let me just climax. Hold on. I ain't even stopped yet. There we go. I turtle shell there for a second. Don't move.
I keep on forgetting you live alone. I'm just like, oh my gosh, no, people cannot be hearing you do this.
Yeah. Don't move. I need a napkin. Hold on a second. It's all in your bag. Let me just. Whew.
Oh man.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, I need a cigarette after that one.
You good? Are you good?
Yeah. Ooh, oh.
You said yeah?
Yeah. I beat her. Yeah, you know. Ooh, she need a smoke break after that one, ladies and gentlemen. That was a.
Wait, so have you actually beaten her now? Like, did you actually beat her?
Yeah, I beat her.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So now I gotta get out of here and.
Honestly, I can't decide which one's the worst fight. Either the Trickmaster or Ursula.
I will say Trickmaster. Trickmaster did beat me. He beat me, I think, maybe once or twice. Cause like I had to jump, and a lot of Riku's attacks don't work in the air. Like they only work on the ground. Like he doesn't like learn how to jump up to like do anything.
What I heard, what I followed was that like if you want to kind of the most streamlined strategy is that your cards are all weak, and he has like high level cards, but you have a lot of zeros, so you have to like wait for him to attack and use your zeros. No. So I'm sorry. You had to go into duels with him constantly. You have to go into duels, and then the cards you generally have can generally outbeat his, and you have to just spam. You have to just spam duels. Just spam duels, and that's like the best, most streamlined way to beat him. I'm assuming you didn't do that.
I did not, because you already know that I don't like doing slights. So I'm gonna go check on my pizza. It's probably good in code, but hold on, I'll be right back. Entertain the peoples while I'll be right back.
Oh, cutscene? Is it cutscene time?
No, it's not a cutscene. I'm just saving it right here before it gets to a cutscene, so I can eat my pizza while it's in the cutscene.
You people need to tell our boy here to use slights. It'll just make his life so much easier. I don't know why he's so scared to use them. It makes the game boring, but it just makes the game so much easier. In this game, you don't need to add any extra handicaps on yourself. Not handicaps. You don't need to add any more hardships to your life with playing this game. Just use the slides. They're there for a reason.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that? It's Twitch acting for a reason. I'm Twitch acting.
You are the only person that probably ever says that.
You're not
I bet you if I were to ask other like even middle tier Twitch partners, they probably would be like, "What the fuck is Twitch acting?"
It just shows that they're not.
I mean, like, well, there's this dude I know. There's a dude I know. He says it's Twitch acting. He says it like as if it's a thing people do.
It is.
And he'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
That guy's an idiot. And he probably eats pizza while he streams too, huh? Like,
I
well,
do.
I guess yeah, he kind of does.
And it's cold too, and I'm still eating this shit.
You're another one of those nobodies.
Well, yeah, just cold pizza's fine.
You've done well thus far.
I will ask you though, what brand is
To
it?
possess your powers and yet
Did you knows?
fear the darkness.
I guess that's fine.
What a waste.
I do not fear it.
I sense that you do.
I mean, I used to be about DiGiorno,
of controlling the
like when I was a teenager. But then I finally tried
open your heart.
Freshgetta. I don't know if you're familiar with that brand, but I tried Freshgetta once
light and darkness.
in high school, and it's particularly their brick oven pizza, because it's actually it's a square rather than a circle. And I don't know what it is about that pizza, but it is so gosh damn delicious. And I've been hooked on Freshgetta like ever since. It's my favorite. It's my favorite brand of frozen pizza. Second is actually Newman's. You know Newman's Own, like the salad dressings. With the white dude on them, and he looked like his head is on it. Like, he like dressed in different things depending what dressing you get.
I was about to say, you just described like damn near every single pizza that has a white person on it. I'm also fighting the dude with the axe, so hold on a second. Give me like, at least give me like a couple seconds to like focus. No, bitch!
Who are you fighting?
The dude with the axe blade, the axe, not an axe, but it's the hook. Oh, son of a bitch. I need a zero.
Like the giant cleaver thing?
Yeah, I don't have a zero. Holy Lord, no, Jesus.
Bro, slight. Just use your slight. You're fine.
I forgot I had that, actually.
You have slight. Just use slight. That's how you'll take them out. Just stack your cards, stalk your cards, and you're fine.
Why is he blocking my attack?
Well, actually, you want to go into dark mode. Go into dark mode and then use your slights.
I will as soon as I have powers to do such. Oh my
Just go into dark
god.
mode. Break his cards, bro.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm in dark mode now. Now you about to get digged out. Okay, apparently no, he's not about to get digged down because he has fucking invincity frames. Why does he?
No.
Why does he have invincity frames?
You're fucked. Yeah, he has. I think he has like this magic power that if he uses it twice, he's invincible.
Yeah. He steamrolled my ass. Okay, so let me look over what I have because, wow, I got steamrolled. I wasn't prepared for that.